Hey there, Aqua. This is Joy with Joy of the World, here to take an intuitive peek into the second half of April for you. But as always, these readings are timeless, so irregardless of when you show up here, just know this message is for you. Pardon the airplane. As you can see, I am in a new environment. The weather is delicious and delightful, and I didn't want to be cooped up inside. So we seem to have a theme for the second half of April. It's talking about letting nature take its course. So if you haven't already, you can check out the April 21st read, again, timeless, where the son of fire and the daughter of water showed up, and they've threaded over into the second half. We have a lot of volatility going on with the planets. We've been in control for quite some time. That's what the earth is. It's what the flesh is about. It's trying to manufacture and make the best of anything, ruts, routines, regulations, that type of thing, but it's dissolving and dissipating because we're far enough. Whoever lizard spirit resonates with, I see it right now. Okay. Somebody's saying take a bite out of crime. All right. So get rid of that crying shame going on. So you're also letting me know, I made some notes here. It's talking about healing is needed at the window to your soul, your diaphragm, your digestion. You may be experiencing issues in these areas, or things may just be changing altogether. They may be improving, but you're going to experience some energy in those areas possibly. And we're moving on to removing the energy of disillusionment that has been a bit of a block, kind of a ceiling, like a balloon head type of so much expansion and then contraction at the same time, of feeling like you've hit a ceiling, like you're not being heard, like where your dreams and your desires, but meanwhile life is good, and then where your dreams, where your desires, and okay, it's getting better, but it just seemed to somehow always, like the rubber band, snap back to that state of being, which is what the diaphragm is, like a giant rubber band. But it's talking about to dissolve it is key. So here we're going to let our affirmation step on in. If you'd like to join me in it, I dissolve and surrender my fears. Okay, so we can choose to surrender our fears. And now with this, you're letting me know a bit of that coming on up. Look at this. We have the New Era Tarot coming on in here. Talk about the four elements, and the death is showing up, and it's showing up in the element of fire. Maybe death of your passion, death of your belief, your faith that things could get better or could be different, that you fire it up and then it fizzles out. You fire it up and then somebody puts it out. You fire it up and then things don't work out. There's been a lot of a ceiling going on with you guys, C-E-I-L-I-N-G, a ceiling going on. And that's where we have the disillusionment stepping on in here. So being out in a tough, hard place where you haven't inherited many of the dreams or desires that you've had, it's like, how did they abort? How did they go astray? How did it go awry? How did it get jilted? How did it not happen? Because you thought you were walking in confirmation, you were walking in resonance, you were doing what felt right to your spirit and your soul. You had double checked yourself to make sure you weren't just flying by fancy and faking it till you make it, or giving yourself some false illusion going on here. But this the energy that's been going on, and it's stepping into why you keep making me lay down the tiger's eye. I don't know. I guess you want to see it like a brick, a foundation, that type of thing. You're wanting something to stand on, roots, earth for your roots, ground for your dreams, that type of thing. But in this case, the earth has become your ceiling. So in the Capricorn video, which you might check out, because this seemed to have threaded straight out from there, almost like mail coming in, the brass mail slot in people's doors. It's that the waters beneath the earth and the waters above the earth, which are the skies and the heavens, are coming to meet. And that is how the plasma is going to happen. This earth will totally dissolve. And I don't mean doomsday type of thing. I'm talking about the feelings that we have, the need to deserve, the need to qualify, those type of things. It's going to bypass us, and up is going to be this new seed rising out. And what is that? That is a rose quartz. And it's a cluster of it, a cluster of healings and restorations of delights and dreams that bypass you. Things that you thought were yesteryear and long gone, that you had made peace with, laid to rest, that whole thing, are going to be coming up now. In that there is a bit of intermingling, because some things will need to be healed. So it's going to be like, what the hey? I thought I had already dealt with that. Why is this thing, this dead body, this skeleton rising up from the depths? But let me tell you, it ain't gonna bite. It can chew a little bit on those back molars there, but it's not gonna bite. It might bark, but it will not bite. And so from the illusion and the disillusion in Venus in love, and a little temperament of Mercury, maybe some reiteration of phrases that kind of demolish potentiality, maybe diminish it, that type of thing. So maybe cleaning up the vocal cords a little bit. You could do a little humming, a little gargling, a little singing, and a little choosing before you speak, to think before you speak. So in comes the Son of Water. This is youthful vibrance. This is coming into the manhood, the stateshood, man or woman, it doesn't matter, but it's that thing of men carry the sexual genetic of pleasure being shown, of it being exhibited externally. So no longer that internal sealing going on. These are healings that will be visible, and for whoever Hawk resonates with, we just had one pass by. It's that type of energy coming in, the beholding, the bounty, cornucopia type energy making its way here. If you haven't already, check out the Taurian season read, the April 20 to May 20th read coming on in, because there's a heralding of the new energy, because Taurus is the flume in the channel almost directly into Gemini. We'll have a little bit of a almost wanting to put the brakes on it, to pump the brakes a bit, because it can get to snowballing so fast, and it's not snow, it's Mars. It'll be hellfire and so fast and getting up and going that it can be a little bit scary. It's like it's going to get away from you. It's like a wild steed running out in the open, that your body was finally ready for this type of freedom, that it'll catch you off guard a little bit, and you're wanting to slow it down to try and dissect it and discern it, because the DI, the two keeps showing up for you. So the double duplicitous mind, doing away with the double mindset, doing away with the logic mind, the halves of the brain, allowing it to merge and to come together, removing the veil, which is the corpus callosum between the two halves of the brain, allowing the brain to become whole in its logic and its poles and its power, but also whole in the concepts and that type of thing, which you'll find out more about in Capricorn if you back up there into their quickie read. Now, what is cool, we have two aces, boom, showing up. Who brought that in? Son of Water brought that in, that cornucopia. Look at this going on. So we have the Ace of Fire and the Ace of Earth. So that's talking about the sun stepping in to warm the earth, so that what was down beneath and buried, those waters, those dreams, those desires that had to die in order to be fulfilled, they're going to erupt up through the earth. And that's going to be a bit of the shock here, a bit of that pop, that effervescence. Like when you crack open any bubbly drink, it can effervesce and the bubbles can rise up. It's going to be a little elating, but a little intimidating at the same time, because those things were so long gone, buried and dead, that you didn't know they had any life in them. But the thing about seed, when it finds soil, which is your heart, it is your soul, right? It's been down in there, and you get out into a little bit of nature, let some sunshine, let a little bit of rain come in and cleanse your soul, because that's what nature does. When we step out of our man box, our container that we've built for ourselves and decorated so lovely for ourselves, and we get a little sunshine on our skin, we get a little wind in our hair, we take in something that's so much bigger than us, it expands that capacity, and it takes away this limitation of what the goldenest self is, because the goldenest self is our solarness, S-O-U-L-E-R, and our S-O-L-A-R, our sunshine coming on in, which will then strike that seed. The water helps it trickle down in there to nutritize it and cause it to erupt and come forth. The seed will die, but out of it comes new life. Out of it comes exactly what was contained in that seed. So it's greater than you could think or imagine. And it is bountiful, that cornucopia energy that he is showing, because one seed brings forth an entire plant. And that plant brings forth a multitude of fruit, and the fruit brings forth an amplitude of seed. Okay, friends, so let's get a Mary L on this, who's at the bottom. Wheel of Fortune showing up for you. These were shuffled. Wheel of Fortune coming on in, so take a spin. The way you take a spin and you move forward into the new waters by the power of yourself, mind, body, and soul, into one unit, into this whole earthen vessel here. Now you are the seed, is what you're letting me know. We begin to take a spin. And so there's a lot of you coming up on some Libra energy that we're stepping into, some balance, some justice, but also check out the Libra reads from about 6-7 months ago. Those are things that are activated right now. The planets are in position right now. Those were the little notes in the emails of a heads up, here's what's coming, and the time is right now. So they're talking about taste and see that life is good. Understanding the Fibonacci sequence, Metatron type cube, Sandalphon type energy of going through walls and bringing back information that is beyond human concept into the stardust of life, all right? So the Wheel of Fortune is activated when we work and when we play. And that doesn't just mean work like pencil pushing, okay, keyboard tapping, that type of thing, going out and hauling and researching. Some of this work that's showing up here has to do with rest and rejuvenation. It has to do with ease and allowing. Remember, our motto for the second half of April, or whenever you tune into this video, is to allow nature to take its course, okay? You're part of nature. We keep trying to express our divinity, but we realize our divinity is in our human nature. It's when we begin to be inhumane that we hit a ceiling, that we begin to hit those problems. So when you feel frustrated, or you feel frantic, or you feel depressed or oppressed or restricted in any way, step outside. That can be earthing and grounding. Really, when we lay our eyes on all of life, we become one with it. And it's not by the power of our mind, it's by the power of our being. And then our seed begins to burst open into this beautiful blossom and bloom we call life. Now with that, they're wanting me to get you another credit card: ascending and descending, aligning and divining, allowing the cycles of life, the wheel, to begin to spin and turn. Hopefully your wheels are turning right now, and you allow your spirit, your soul, and your guides to begin to resonate with what it is speaking to you in this message. Not what I'm saying, but what your soul's saying, okay? That soul speak, that God speak, is what you should listen to. It's what is powerful and potent, because only you know the journey that you've been on. What was that trying to go back down? Some of you are restraining this delightful desire of the pot of gold. Letting it rain like this, like let it rain, let it rain. Having so much abundance and income, like a flurry of festivities is what you're talking about. Being able to celebrate everyday life, being able to celebrate your spirit and this incoming energy. For a few of us, you've already merged your waters, that waters, the heaven and the depths of the earth, and you've merged it in together, and these excitements are popping up. So there's a little bit of an urgency to want to honor that and spend. So what is showing which way is up? So there's still a blockage of a little bit of questions going on here. So let's take a dive into those questions with Irte. And it's about, we ask about the Ace of Earth and the Ace of Fire. So in the Earth, who's wanting to speak here? Capricorn's wanting to speak in the Earth. So tell us a little bit about the questions of Capricorn going on in here. It's a bit of a story. So we have Kings, we have authority showing on up, and we have the Four of Wands turning into the Eight of Swords. It's about how do we make ourselves happy? The victory, the earthen victory, and the mental victory, the mental frame, setting our attitude, allowing it to come on in. And for one is where you'll sacrifice, you know, and it's not asking you to extend beyond your financial boundaries. For some of you, causing movement in that realm of blessing yourself to be a major sacrifice, to cause movement in that realm of playfulness there, and celebrating with a little treat, a little delight, a little desire can seem selfish. It can seem to trigger some of that fear and the unearthing of that seed, but it's wanting to crack you open. That's part of the water, the watering in, because this pot of gold is showing up as waters, golden waters, like rainbow producing, which makes perfect sense, because when the sun hits those droplets of rain, it produces this profusion of wildflowers. That wakes up the Kings. I love it because this King of Wands comes first. Talk about the world opening back up again. This is very, very much showing up like, I'm forgetting the name of it at this moment. It's not coming because it must be irrelevant, but the big festival that they have in Brazil, where Carnival, where Carnival shows up, and that's where people play and they dress up and they begin to express themselves in ways that they may not have seen before. And it's showing up very much as a trumpet of bravery, your trumpet of trusting. All right, and what was that mantra again? I surrender my fears. And some of you might want to say, I dissolve my fears, whichever way they need to go, because the rains can dissolve them. The surrender is allowing yourself to move into the outdoor space, either way, my friend. And that brings in the King of Hearts. Learning to shout it out. You got big leaf feuds going on down there. I'm sorry, y'all. They can be so naughty out here sometimes. But you'll be like, hey, what's up? And begin to find yourself opening up to more of the bounty of life. Taking a bite, and if it's something you don't like, you move on from it. And that doesn't mean another person is talking about the apples here. I'm very much seeing Honeycrisp showing up. I'm seeing the reiteration of Libra time, because if you're in the Northern Hemisphere, that is when our apple trees begin to start bearing fruit, and the Honeycrisp are sweet, firm, juicy, and delicious. So they're wanting you to go to a level 10, a level 11, a level 12, and level up beyond all you can think or imagine into the luxury and the juiciness of honoring yourself. Go straight to the heart of the matter. Don't just do little piddlies here, something that sort of puts one little pulse or heartbeat into your life that you think, oh, well, that was kind of nice. No, do the rip roar and like, oh, thank you, when you lay in bed at night. For me, it was getting in the cold ocean the other day. I absolutely loved it. Did some water aerobics. It invigorated and it restored and refreshed my soul. Those type of things. And that didn't cost me anything other than my time and my effort, okay? So friends, they're wanting you to open up that pot of gold, that power of permission in many multiplicitous rounds, multi-directional, multiverse, universe is what they're talking about here. So I hope that helps you out here, Aqua. Know that I love you. If you haven't already, click that subscribe button. It is free as always, and always show your love and support by hitting that thumbs up button. It costs you nothing, but it makes a world of difference here at this channel. Get this joy train rolling. Whose joy? Your joy, my joy, our whole world's joy. I love you. Check back by real soon. Bye.